Hi, my name is Elizabeth Miller. We did our presentation on The Farewell. The people in my group were Sparkle McKay Rushing, myself, Lisa Maynard, and Emily Maldonado. This is Humanities 2020, Semester 1, 2020. Overall thesis. Elizabeth Miller. The overall thesis of the film, The Farewell, is that everyone goes through the emotions of losing a loved one. This film is written and directed by Lulu Wang, praised by many movie critics. In the movie, a girl named Billy cannot decide if she should tell her nanny about her condition and risk her losing her happiness, or if she is being too emotional. Her family is having a fake wedding to have everyone together for the last time with her. Billy thinks that is wrong, but she is also conflicted if her family really knows that this is the best for her nana.
Hi, my name is Emily Maldonado, and I'm doing my part for this group project, and I'm going to be doing my sources. So, for my thesis, I said The Farewell is a 2019 movie written and directed by Lulu Wang. The movie was well received by audiences as they felt moved by what the movie presented to them. The cast was well picked, and Wang did an overall good job with bringing the story to life. Stories like these can help people relate to their own lives, giving a sense to people that they are not alone and that a situation like this can happen to anyone in the real world. And I think that's what's so special about this movie is that it really brings audiences' attention and it gives them something to look at and reflect on their own lives if they're going through the same thing, for sure. So yeah. Hi, my name is Emily Maldonado, and I'm doing my for the learning objectives. We're focusing on the plot and how the Farewell movie reached to so many audiences emotionally. And it was based on a true lie, and I'll go more into detail on what that means when I say that it's based on a true lie. For the evidence, I went to IMDb, and for the first part of the evidence, I said that a headstrong Chinese American woman returns to China when her beloved grandmother is diagnosed with terminal cancer. Billy struggles with her family's decision to keep Grandma in the dark about her own illness as they all stage an impromptu wedding to see Grandma one last time. So with this piece of evidence, I'm basically explaining the plot of the movie. That pretty much just sums up what it's all about. And then for my next piece of evidence, I found an article online, and this guy pretty much did a review on the movie, and I added that I typed these words as a writer who found himself in a similar scenario without prior knowledge. My 91-year-old grandmother, lying in physical appearance yet still sharper than most in wit or spirit, left us shortly after mine and my mother's joint April birthday weekend. So with this piece of evidence, I'm basically explaining that this guy, watching this movie, The Farewell, it helped him kind of reflect on his own life, a similar situation he was going through with his grandmother and his grandmother passing away. Similar to what Billy, the main character, is going through in the movie, and just explaining that a lot of audiences and people seeing this movie can definitely relate to it with their own lives, for sure. And then the last piece of evidence is from IMDb as well. And they said the fine cast does justice to Wang's equivalent equivalent story. Aquafina fits well in the lead role, and I think Nene, yeah, that's grandmother in Chinese, is so lovable that she makes it very easy to see why so many would grieve her impending death. One particular scene stands out, even though it is brief. Billy's mother, played by Diana Lynn, quickly avoiding eye contact in a taxi while fighting back tears. In less than a minute, Lynn conveys an experience of every adult at least once in our lives. And basically, this evidence is just showing. I'm pretty sure it was one of the reviews that people said on the movie, saying that Aquafina did a really well job in her role, and the actors just doing an overall good job of bringing the characters to life. And it's funny because one of the scenes that really stood out to me the most was when Billy was talking to her mother about how she was friends with somebody from a really young age, but then all of a sudden I think something happened and her friend disappeared, and her mom never told her that her friend died. And her mom makes an excuse of like, oh, well, we had to, bring you to school, we couldn't, let you, someone die, like get, the worst of you or let you bring you down or whatever. And she was like, but I never got to see them again. She never got to see her friend again. And she was mad that her mother obviously didn't tell her what had happened to her friend and that they died at the time. So that definitely stands out to me the most. But yeah, this is it for my evidence slide. So application of ideas and source, basically referring to something very much outside of the movie, is the fact that this story is based on a true lie, and meaning that this story is based off of what Wang went through in her life. And the movie ends with the actual grandmother, and she is still alive and going strong 6 years after her stage 4 diagnosis. It is so special to see movies from people's own lives come to life. It goes to show that Wang was so dedicated to sharing a story like hers, to reach out to other people when watching this film and helping out other people who might be going through the same thing. Basically, yeah, just tying back to my overall thesis, for sure. So yeah, it's really cool to see that, as a director, her, taking the direction of her own story and obviously using the actors and everything to really bring the story that she went through herself personally come to life for sure. And it's really special to kind of see that. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. So application of ideas and source. So for my discussion questions, I just added 2 questions. I asked, when watching a movie, do you take what you get from that movie and reflect it on your own life? And it doesn't even have to be like this movie in particular, The Farewell. It could be just any movie. I think a lot of people actually do this, but then again, it really depends on the movie because everyone goes through different things in their own life. But I definitely think that people look at a movie, whatever movie that would be, and definitely kind of, reflect it on their own life and make it so that they're not alone, of course, like I said before. And anything, it makes them feel better about what they're going through, because watching a movie, it could be something terrible. Someone could go through something terrible, and seeing it in a movie, like, it could just make them feel better because it helps them heal and just know that, yeah, they really truly aren't alone. And that, whatever happens in a movie could actually happen in real life, for sure. And then the last question is, what makes a movie relatable? And this question can go in a lot of ways, for sure. But I think a lot would probably have to do with the fact that, the actors showing emotion and feeling, for sure can get to audiences real quick. Really good actors, and they show very good emotion and just acting abilities. I think that definitely can contribute to being relatable to a lot of audiences watching any sort of movie. But it can be a lot of multiple things too. It's definitely up for discussion.